right. Coach, if you want to start us off with the opening statement.
Yeah, I mean, really proud of the fight of our team. That Auburn team, I mean, they've had a great season. The Malvo's done a great job with them. We played them in the fall, and they're a different team right now. And it's really cool to see the growth of our game sometimes when you're competing against someone like that. So, hard-fought battle. You know, when we got in the locker room, we talked about grit and not being denied our opportunity to win this game. And I think this one and this one after that big time today. And it's just cool to see the maturity. I know this is a senior, but this is playing like a senior right now, Ashtyn is, and it's pretty cool to see that confidence to go in there and compete, and some defensive gems and just big swings, and yeah, really good day.
We've seen some incredible offense from you guys this season, Coach, but just defensively, what can you say about this team today?
Yeah, I mean, this time of year, it's going to be scratching and clawing for inches and outs, and as long as you can stay present, and you know, if you can be one step over, I mean, Hartley's one step over makes that catch on Peralta's ball. You know, Issa being able to play to Jay, like those are like decisions of being one step in the right spot, and then trusting to execute your pitches at the same time. So we talk about that quite a bit all season long, and then to see it come to fruition, you know, in the end of the season, you know, lifts you up one, but then that's how you win championships. And you know, I think the offense working together on one side of the ball and pitching and defense on the other side of the ball, and to do it for 14 innings today, I mean, outstanding, and super proud of the team.
Ashtyn, it seemed like obviously after the first game when Auburn got a bunch of runs at the end, you could have gotten really nervous and broken down, and then you gave up 2 base runners to start the game. So what did you do, I guess, to keep your composure and make sure none of those situations got out of hand?
Yeah, just kind of like what Coach just said, we talked about just like flipping it, and we had a choice, and they got the first 2, got some good barrels, and kind of just took it and knew where to pitch them. We had a plan going in, and just trusting my pitches and trusting the defense to go out and get the job done.
On the triple play, I mean, does that just speak to the preparation you guys do to not fall asleep in that situation as they're trying to steal one?
Absolutely. I know we had talked about it beforehand, like days beforehand, talking about like first and third situations, what to expect from each team this weekend. And it's funny, like a couple of innings beforehand, I had quite literally talked to Bueno, hey, be ready for this girl to come around, like trying to score from second, because they're notorious for doing it. And they've done well with it and being able to score runs. And that's just one of those things, like you're prepared for the moment. It's just a matter of whether if you communicate it and are there present for that play. So it was just really cool to see that. Knew that we were going to execute to have a double play potentially, and just being able to round it off. Everyone was in the moment. I don't even think I really said 4. I just remember being ready and catching the ball. Everyone else was so keyed into the moment and saying 4, and Bueno just gave me a nice throw, and it was just a tag. It was awesome.
Michaela, this could have been your last collegiate game, and then you hit that home run in the first inning. How much was that in your mind, and then also how much was just having a really, really good start in your mind coming in?
I feel like, and I think Coach can speak on this as well, the first game I played like it was my last collegiate game, and the second game I decided to free it up a little bit, and there's definitely a flip within it. You get into the last, what could be your last game, and you choose to either panic or you choose to play with the love and passion for the game. And I think just understanding that those at-bats in the previous game don't deter me from like what I'm trying to do. I knew eventually I was either going to sit something, I was going to sit a change-up, I was going to get a hold of one, and just super happy that like I stayed present to be able to get my swing off in the first inning. So I was super, super proud.
Coach, after losing the first game to Auburn, what did you tell your team in between games going into the second one?
We're going to win the second one. Like, we went in the locker room, we're winning it. Be present, lay it all out there. We're winning it. But we're winning it.
What was Auburn? Did they surprise you in the first game? Did they do something differently?
No, they're a good hitting team. They can score in bunches. You know, I think they're righty power. So, you know, we had to have some good different game plans pitching on that side of it. You know, managing 2 games in a day, and, you know, your life on the line, you have to figure out, you know, what pieces you're going to pull at that point. So, you know, yeah, they got a few more runs there towards the end, but we got more information as the game went on. So it's just how you choose to view it. And I think when we in the locker room, we got all the information we needed to get. Now let's go win the game too.
Coach, how important was that quick start and getting your players to be loose?
Yeah, huge, I think also like single, you could have been out, here they go, and then, we execute some pitches and we get out of it. So then the momentum, right? Uncle Mo, we talk about Uncle Mo, which dugout is he gonna be in? So the triple play, he's staying in our dugout, right? Like, you just literally try to keep momentum in your dugout, or maybe like kind of in the first seats of the chairs, but not in their dugout. And so, what can we do in executing pitches? And I think that's what Ashtyn does so well and the defense does so well, is they can get some swings and get some hits, but then we can get a double play ball and get out of it. So when we separated both sides of the ball and, Mick gets a big swing there, all of a sudden the momentum's staying with us and we keep riding it out and keep using the smarts of the game. So they were relentless. The dugout was relentless. Players that get on the field were relentless in the dugout today, and they gave energy to the players that were on the field. So a full team effort.
Coach, can you talk about the atmosphere this weekend?
Yeah.
And it seems like now you've earned another weekend of it. So
Yeah. I mean, our home fans are incredible. We work, I think, really hard to gain relationships with our fans too. So I think there's a connection to a lot of people in the stands are feeling Mick's last at bats too, right? Like there's such good connection on that side. So you can feel the passion coming from the fans, and I think it really like connects us and it gives us really home field vibe that's a little different than a cheering field vibe. I think I'm super proud too of Jazzy Francis coming in. Like, it's hard to close out games, and when you get the K-time going and the war chant going, you can bring a little nerves. That's hard to do, and they're super loud and standing up and getting after it. And we talk about that in Fan Day, right? And here we are, and it happened, and they earned that win just as much as we did. So
I guess
it was awesome.
Speaking of the freshmen stepping up, obviously you just talked about Jazzy closing the game out, Shelby McKenzie with a huge home run to give you some insurance. So how important is it not only for the leaders of the team to step up, but also the freshmen?
Yeah, I mean, you can see the benefits we're reaping from these guys in their freshman year and what they went through. They're playing like veterans right now. So, we've been able to get our freshmen in quite a bit of situations all season long. And then, they don't know what they're going into. They don't know what supers is. They don't know that stuff. So they look to these guys to kind of help them keep it simple, like just one pitch and just one swing. But then it's obviously a lot more than that. I would say this freshman class is pretty mature too, so they're really locked into their process also. And so huge for us. The game doesn't know that was a freshman in Shelby McKenzie. It doesn't know, and she's got a good lefty bat, and doesn't know that Jazzy's got a good curveball, and she's a freshman. So I think we try to keep them grounded in that sense.
Michaela, speaking of the freshmen, and now you're headed to super regionals, you have a lot of super regional experience. What are you going to tell them about what that atmosphere is like?
I mean, atmosphere, it always is what you make it, and I think like it's awesome we're in a position to host supers. I remember throwing back to like my freshman year, we went over to LSU, and I was like brand new to this. I was like, we're going to LSU for the Baton Rouge? Like, what is this? So if I just had to tell them like one thing, it's again like keeping it simple and having fun, because at the end of the day, like we need to be able to be loose to play like our type of softball. We joke around and we say that we play really tight, but it's just about like accepting it for what it is, accepting the fan base, seeing everything for what it is, and then enjoying it and flipping it into, instead of being anxious and nervous, into excitement. And I think just allowing that piece to go over, everything will eventually come together. So
I'm sure you guys would prefer to win 10-0, but is it gratifying to gut it out the way you did today? Because it seemed like nothing was really going your way early today.
I mean, I definitely think there's two different ways to look at it. I definitely think like winning is winning, right? It doesn't matter, 10 runs, 1 run, just super glad that we came through. But on the flip side, I think it's, for one, we're getting challenged as hitters. I mean, we had to go against 2 great Auburn pitchers that were layering a changeup, and I think they did a really good job mixing speeds on that end. But also, like, it's going to put us in a better position for this upcoming weekend of understanding what we need to do better in sitting pitches and picking a speed. So super grateful that we got challenged with our at-bats today, but only knowing that that's going to push us to grow and to be better for the next weekend. So grateful.
Ashtyn, early in the game, it seemed like the umpire was calling the low strike a lot. How much do you adjust, if any, to the strike zone when you get out there and see it?
Yeah, I like it down there, so when he's calling it for a strike, I'm like, nice. But just continuing to throw what I throw if he's not calling it, continue to trust my pitches. And we talked to Coach, I talked to Mick, good lines, good, just everything. And if he's not calling it, he's not calling it. Maybe adjust a little bit, but they're going to swing. So just keep throwing the drop ball, and hopefully we'll get them up. Yeah.
Coach, do you scout the umpires at all with them? Do you scout the umpires at all with them, or is just the opposing hit?
I mean, I know the umpires, Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we chat between innings and stuff, but it is what it is, and they got to deal with it too. And yeah, so I think we have a plan for each hitter, and we know when we want to be on the plate and off the plate, and yeah.
Lonni, when you guys lost the first game today, how I know you said that we're gonna go win it, but this team, you talked about synergy and how they respond to everything, how they handle everything.
Mm-hmm.
How confident were you when you walked off the field after the first game that they were gonna go do what they had to do, and what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you turn the ball over to someone that's been in the position before, right? So I think you lean on your experience at that point. So, we've got a lot of upperclassmen right now and some sophomores that are playing like upperclassmen. So I knew it was going to be a dogfight. I knew it was going to be tough. We were going to have to make some big time plays. We had to get some big time calls. We got some calls, that usually don't go our way, and they went our way. And, that's this time of year. So it wasn't so much confidence. It was just like I wanted to keep feeding into them, like, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. We're going to make this happen. And then, I think probably the third inning, you could just feel the dugout, like it was going to happen. We were going to make it happen, and they were going to just grind out and get after it. So, I just think it's about the process and just pouring into the kids at that point. Yeah.
One more, Michaela, how much did it help you guys to see SJ in that first game?
I mean, big. I mean, we knew for a fact we're gonna see her. We were gonna see Rainey. Like, it was just a matter of who we were gonna see and get to first. And seeing SJ come through, we knew exactly what we were gonna get. It's just a matter of us hitters being able to pick a speed, and it's extremely hard. Hitting is extremely hard, and I think that's the big thing here. Like, sometimes we get a little overwhelmed in a sense that, like, I have to do this, I need to do this, to where it just closes off your ability to truly play in the moment. And I think that's kind of what happened game one, just getting caught in between, not really being able to choose a particular pitch, not being able to, like, go in or out, and just having that talk and being able to feed into my other, like, righty swingers, just like, what are you trying to do here, and being able to see that in their at-bat. And I definitely think there was a change from game one to game two against her in particular. So just happy, like, we did make the adjustments. You could see it. I mean, even still, like, game one, we could say the adjustments piece, we were still hitting, like, great hits. It was just right at them. So I think there's a little bit of mental fatigue in that sense of, like, ugh, again. And that's where you really have to stay into it, because you can be making good contact and it's going straight to someone that maybe they're playing in the right spot, and that's just the love of postseason softball, because you want it so bad. And it's how about, can we take that back, the want, and into, like, the process of I'm just right there, and going to the next pitch. And I think that was the big talk of the game piece from hitters from game one to game two, of, like, taking away the I want, I need, and just sticking into the process of it.